Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session. So today we have our first Tech Talk session of 2026 in NEXOVA. So today we are starting something new. I think this is something new for you as your internship progresses as well. So we have our today's speaker. So to give a brief introduction about today's speaker, I think she always has a bright smile whenever we interact with her, whenever we ask something. So she always gives her 100%. Whenever we ask a question to help out, and she is someone who is very interested in business analytics, and we techies are always dealing with systems, right? But our speaker today, she is more interested in how systems and users interact, because that's her area, and she's willing to get into that area and progress on business analytics, and also the human psychology and user how users interact with systems. So that's her main idea when moving forward with her career ladder. And she's also talented in other areas as well, instruments in terms of piano and saxophone as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our today's speaker, who is Sachini. I will not talk about how the topic goes, and also Sachini will take over the control afterwards. We'll open the floor to Sachini. Sachini, you can start the session.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. And my name is Sachini Anurada. I'm a training business analyst here at NEXOVA IT Solutions. Today, I am excited to talk to you about something that sits at the very heart of successful software projects, the role of a business analyst. Okay. The title of my talk is Bridging Business, Technology, and Human Behavior. And I want to emphasize the last part, human behavior, because it's something we often overlook in tech, but it's absolutely crucial to what we do. So let's start with a simple truth. So, tech projects are not just about code. They are about people, they're about collaboration, they're about understanding. So you see, a business analyst acts as a bridge. We connect technical teams with business stakeholders, but more than that, we translate needs and behaviors and requirements into actionable solutions. So think about this way. When a stakeholder says, I need a better system, what do they really mean? I mean, when a user says, this app is so confusing, what actually confusing them? When developer asks, what should this button do? Someone needs to have those answers ready now. So that someone is the business analyst. We move on to the next slide. So what exactly is a business analyst? I'll ask from Tarund. What do you think, Tarund?
Business analyst is who interacts with both development team and the customer side. Client side, I think.
Yeah, that's what I want to tell. A business analyst identifies business and needs and determines solutions to business problems. But let me break that down into what we actually do day to day. Our core responsibilities include gathering and documenting requirements, analyze analyze business processes, creating functional specifications, and facilitating stakeholder meetings. So, what is gathering and documenting requirements? So, we sit down with stakeholders, we ask questions, we dig deep. So, what does I mean by analyzing business processes? That means understanding how things currently work and how they could work better. What is creating functional specifications? Turning conversations into clear, actionable documents. What is facilitating stakeholder meetings? That means bringing everyone together and keeping them aligned. So, what are the key skills we need? On top of that, communication and collaboration are at the top. You can have all the technical knowledge in the world, but if you can't communicate it clearly, it's useless, I think. We also need problem solving skills, technical understanding, and the ability to manage stakeholders, which, trust me, is its own special skill. So, the tools and techniques we use include things like user stories, process flow diagrams, wireframes, and detailed requirements documentation. We'll talk more about this in a bit, but here's the value we deliver. We reduce project risks, we prevent costly rework, we align team with business goals, and ultimately we improve project success rates. Let me move on to the next slide. So, you can see on one side we have the business side. On the other side, we have the technical side. So, I'll talk about the one side, which is business side. Stakeholders, clients, end users. They have business needs, they have goals, they have visions, but often they don't speak technical language. On the other side, we have the technical side. Developers, QA, and architects. They build solutions, they write code, they test functionality. But they need clear requirements to do their job as well. And right in the middle, that's where we come in, the business analyst. So why is this bit so critical? First, clarity. We translate business language into technical requirements that developers can actually work with. Second, alignment. We ensure that the solutions being built actually match what the business needs, not what someone thinks they need, but what they actually need. Third, efficiency. We prevent misunderstandings that lead to costly rework. And yeah, that's all. So let me give you some context about where BAs fit into the bigger picture. I'm talking about the software development lifecycle, or SDLC. These are 6 main phases: planning, analysis, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. What's planning? Planning is where we define the project scope and objectives. What is analysis? Analysis is where we gather and analyze requirements. That means design, something like that. So what is design? Where we create the system architecture and UI UX. Fourth one, development. Development means where developers actually code and build the solution. Fifth one is testing, where QA does quality assurance and finds bugs. Last one, deployment and maintenance. This is where we release the product and provide ongoing support. Now, where does a BA fit in all of this? Let's see. So BAs, as a BA, we are most active in the early phases: planning, analysis, and design. So this is where we really shine. We are defining scope, gathering requirements, creating wireframes, and validating designs. But here's the thing. We don't disappear after that. We remain involved throughout the entire life cycle during development. We are there to clarify requirements and answer questions. During testing, we are validating against the acceptance criteria we defined. During deployment, we are supporting training and creating documentation. So the key point is this. BAs ensure continuity from idea to implementation. So we are the constant connector between business vision and technical execution. So let me give you a real example. It's not from NEXOVA, but think of it like this. We are building a restaurant POS system called NEXOVA, and one of the features is, you can say, it's online ordering. So here's how that flows through the SDLC. Planning, analysis, design, development, testing, deployment. So in planning, a stakeholder identifies the need for online ordering to increase revenue. In analysis, I, as the BA, create user stories, define the menu browsing flow, the cart system, and the checkout process. In design, I collaborate with UI UX designers on wireframes and user experience. Development, our developers build the features based on my specifications. So in testing, QA validates everything against the acceptance criteria I defined. So in deployment, the feature goes live and I support training and documentation. So you can see how the BA touches every single phase. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, let's talk about requirements. So there are two main types you need to know about that. Functional requirements and non-functional requirements. So I'll ask a question like this. What do you think is the functional requirements? I'll ask Nimant. What do you think?
Functional requirement means like logics. I mean, how to say it?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Like, do not think so much.
It's like logics, like I don't
Functional.
have good idea.
Okay. Functional requirements define what the system should do. For example, user can log in with email and password, or system sends email confirmation after order placement. So on the other side, we have non-functional requirements. So I'll define it. What is non-functional requirements? So non-functional requirements define how well the system should perform. For example, page load time should be under 2 seconds, or all password must be encrypted. So both are equally important. You can have all the features in the world, but if the system is slow or insecure, it's useless. So let me move on to the next slide. Okay, now this is my favorite part. So user stories are one of my favorite tools as a BA. They're simple but yet powerful. The standard format is, as a role, I want this specific feature so that the benefit. For example, in our Nexus system, we can say like a story like this. As a restaurant customer, I want to view the menu and add items to my cart so that I can place an order conveniently. So I'll ask a question again. Why do we use user stories? So you already read my user stories from starting the internship. So I think you all know why we use user stories. I'll ask Tarun again.
To actually First, to clarify the requirements, and we can divide those requirements into small portions uh, for development. I think that's the need of story.
Yeah. So actually, the user stories are user focused. They start with who needs the feature. So, and they are easy to understand. And also, even non technical stakeholders get it. So, and also, they clarify purpose. That means that part explains why we are building this. So, thank you, Tarun. So let me move on to the next slide. So we already know that user stories alone are not enough. We need acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria define the specific conditions that must be met for a user story to be considered complete. So take that login user story. The acceptance criteria might include uh, login page displays email and password fields. User can submit credentials using login button. Valid credentials redirect to account dashboard. Invalid credentials show an error message. Password field mask put, that means input. Forgot password link is available. See, these criteria are super important because they prevent scope creep. They reduce back and forth and they ensure QA knows exactly what to test. So let me give you a real world comparison to drive this home. Uh, Imagine you are given this requirement. Make the login page nice. So I want you to know what happens. Again, like you have to tell me what happens when the requirement is like make the login page nice. I want you to say what happens when like this requirement came. So I'll ask Pranit.
Developer point of view, first I will ask questions from BA that, what are the fields that we should enhance? And for example, if I want to change the color theme and all to make it nice, do we have a predefined color theme, color codes, likewise, and then what kind of user friendliness that we can add? Those information I need to get from BA. So I will basically ask questions around that.
Yeah. Thank you, Penny. I didn't know that you were a developer before. Sorry. And like my question is, imagine then all of you think like that. This. Imagine you are given this vague requirement as make the login page nice. So what happens? The developer builds what they think is nice. The stakeholder rejects it. You go through 3-4 rounds of rework and the deadline is missed. Everyone is frustrated and you wasted 2-3 weeks. Now imagine you are given this clear requirement. Login page must have the company logo, email and pass fields, and a remember me checkbox, and it should match our brand colors. So what happens? The developer knows exactly what to build. The first version needs expectations. Minimal rework is needed. You deliver on time. Everyone is happy. And you save 2-3 weeks plus team morale. So I wanted to say this because this is the core job of a BA. Transform ambiguity into actionable clarity. So now we are getting to the part that makes my talk different from a typical BA presentation. I want to talk about business psychology in tech projects. So So here's the truth that might surprise you. So users don't always know what they want, and that's totally okay. Users might say things like, I want more features, or make it easier, or make it faster. I need everything on one screen. But what they actually need is often very different. They need simpler, more intuitive workflows. They need less waiting and better feedback. And also, they need to focus on their primary task without distraction. So why do users abandon apps? It's likely because it's confusion or distrust. Confusion means too many options, unclear navigation, and also I forgot to mention that frustration, slow performance, too many steps, and distrust, unclear error messages, lack of feedback. So as a BAs, our job is to dig deeper. We conduct interviews. We observe how people actually use systems. We uncover the real needs behind the status request. So let me move on to the next slide. Let's talk about stakeholder psychology. So stakeholders are fascinating because they think both emotionally and logically. Emotionally, they are driven by fear of project failure, pressure from upper management, attachment to their original vision, and worry about budget overruns. So logically, they care about ROI and business value, timeline and resource constraints, technical feasibility, and competitive advantage. So why do stakeholders change requirements mid-project? It's usually because of market shifts. Competitors launch new features or new insights, user feedback reveals different needs, or budget changes or political pressure from leadership. So as a BA, I acknowledge these emotions, address the logical concerns, and manage expectations through transparent communication. So here's another reality. Developers think technically. That's their job. But we need to bridge the language gap. When a business stakeholder says we need to improve customer retention, I translate that into build a loyalty reward system with points tracking, and then developers translate that into create user table with points column, transactions log, redemption API. Same goal, three different languages. So common miscommunication scenarios happen when developers ask about edge cases and no one knows the answer because the BA didn't clarify, or when QA finds the bugs because acceptance criteria were ambiguous. My role is to speak business to stakeholders, speak tech to developers, and keep everyone aligned. Finally, let's talk about decision making and expectations. So, people make decisions based on perceived value, not just features. So, there are psychological factors at play. Status, key view, or bias. People resist change and loss aversion, fear of losing current features. And the third one is cognitive load. Too many options causes paralysis. And confirmation bias, seeking info that confirms existing beliefs. So as BAs, we manage expectations by setting realistic timelines early, showing progress incrementally, prioritizing features transparently, and also explaining trade-offs clearly. And last one, providing regular updates. And the real impact, when stakeholders understand trade-offs, they make better informed decisions and are less likely to demand scope changes mid-project. So this is the BA superpower, balancing business goals, user needs, and technical constraints while managing human psychology. So let me quickly walk you through the tools we use. First one, it's my favorite now, Jira. So this is where we track user stories, manage sprints, monitor project progress, and collaborate with development teams. So Confluence, I don't use it now, but I use it Google Docs. But I'll tell what is Confluence, and this is and where actually it helps. And this is where we create documentation and requirement specs, meeting notes, and build the knowledge base for the entire team. So Figma and wireframing tools. So we use these to design wireframes, mockups, and user flow diagrams to visualize requirements before development starts. Process diagrams. We create flowcharts, data flow diagrams, and process maps using tools like Draw.io, or any other tool. So, but here's the important point. These tools are not just about tracking tasks, they're bridges for communication. You can see without proper tools, requirements are scattered in emails. There's no single source of truth. And also developers ask the same questions repeatedly. And then what happens is changes get lost, no one has visibility. So with proper tools, everything is centralized in Jira. There's updated documentation in Confluence. Everyone can reference visual wireframes. So there's a clear audit trail, real-time visibility for all stakeholders. So tools enable transparency, alignment, and efficiency. Let me talk about some common challenges as a BA we face and how we solve them. Okay, challenge 1, changing requirements. Stakeholders keep adding or modifying features mid-project. This is super common. And I think for that, the solution is implement a change control process. Prioritize features, communicate the impact on timeline and budget. And don't just say yes to everything, and help stakeholders understand trade-offs. So challenge 2 is miscommunication. Different teams have different understanding of requirements. So solution is create detailed documentation, make visual wireframes, conduct requirement walkthrough sessions where everyone can ask questions and get alive. So let's move to challenge 3, unrealistic expectations. Stakeholders want everything done quickly without understanding complexity. That's totally normal. So the solution is set realistic timelines from the start. Educate on trade-offs and use an MVP approach to deliver value incrementally rather than promising everything at once. And the last one, challenge 4, scope creep. The project grows beyond original scope without proper planning. Solution is define clear project boundaries upfront. Document out of the scope items explicitly and manage stakeholders' expectations consistently. So, and here's the key insight. The root of most challenges is human behavior. That's why understanding psychology is crucial to being a good BA. So, yeah, let me wrap up with the key takeaways. Business analysts bridge 3 things: business, technology, and human behavior. What we do is translate business needs into technical requirements, create user stories and acceptance criteria, facilitate communication between all stakeholders, prevent costly rework through clarity. Yeah, and also why psychology matters. Users behave both emotionally and logically. So stakeholders need both empathy and data. So teams speak different languages. So understanding people leads to better solutions. So successful projects need more than good code, I think. They need people who understand both technology and human behavior. So, thank you for your time today. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Sachini, one question from my side. This is something that I have been thinking for a while now in terms of BAs. Now, as you said, right, customers, they are not technical. They will provide the ask that they need. Like they will just say it. So they will now with the AI and all, right, they can just tell GDP, and they can ask ChatGPT to write a user story for them, right?
Mhm.
That will write the user story as well. So, as a BA, what do you think? Do you think it will impact your role as a BA, or do you think it's better? How do you feel about it?
I feel that it's it will be a help to write a user story for us. But as a BA, I think BA thinks BA combines logical things and the technical things and the user requirements. So if we are using AI tools, we have to tell the what exactly the stakeholders needs. So that means we have to tell the whatever chat GPT them that what actually customer needs. So it's not, I don't think it's a minor thing to use AI, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Sachini, I
Mhm.
have a question.
Mhm.
As a BA, what do you think having a development knowledge also, how it helps to as a BA? That's my question.
Yeah, I think having technical knowledge is very important because I, as a BA, I don't have much of about technical knowledge, but I think it's really important to have some kind of technical knowledge to, because it will be it can understand developers perspective and how should we implement these, when I say you have to put remember me checkbox here and forgot password here. So we have to, the BA should have an idea about how we can do this, how we are going to do this, and about databases. And I think it's very important to have, as a BA, it's very important to have technical knowledge as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Sachini.
Sachini, one question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you explained about this business psychology, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think use that to improve whatever we build a product? So how we can improve that product by thinking the end user or the stakeholder perspective? What kind of improvement that we can do using this business psychology points?
Like I said earlier, the when the customer comes and say to me like, I need a system to, on an online ordering system which can, ease my work. And as a BA, I think the users don't know how to tell it. So as a BA, I think it about regarding the business psychology, I might say, I know what you want. You can say directly to me what are the features that you want to have, and I might say, yeah, we can implement that. So yeah, here's the truth. And regarding the business psychology, I told this because so users don't know what they actually want. So as a VA, I think it's important to have, empathy and communication skills as well, because as a as customers, they don't know what to tell, so they might be like scared or something like that. So I think it's better to help them by my knowledge, by my skills and communication skills. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I guess yeah, good, Sachini. So first of all, Sachini, I think I have never seen this kind of a tech talk from a BA before. I'll tell you why. I have around 12 to 13 years of experience into industry, right? I have worked with different BAs. The different thing that I saw today in your session is about, we have to actually write that code and paste it somewhere in our office or room as well. You mentioned that company will not succeed with good code. It will succeed with the people who understand the empathy, right? Who can deal with people. So I think that is the punching point, I could say. And I think the point that Praneeth mentioned about the business psychology, like you said, right, users don't understand what they need some kind of a translator who can translate it and give it to the developer to understand it. So you touched upon that area, so that I have never seen even with a senior BA talking about that aspect. So that is kind of a really new area, I think, that you can even focus on going forward, Sajini. So that I really like. And coming that from a person like you who is just starting, it's really brilliant. So that shows us like even us can learn something each day from a team like you. So wonderfully done, Sachini, and I think you can always improve and do more tech talks in future. So wonderfully done, fantastic. So that's my feedback. Praneeth, Prasad, anything from your side?
Yes, I'm also agree with you. Totally agree with you, because this I really like this business psychology slide. So the content there and how you present it. So I think it's very rare that we can see this kind of the points are covered in any presentation. Yeah, really good actually.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys actually covered everything, so I'm all in. So I also agree with everything Sahan, Praneeth, and everybody mentioned. Very good warming comments and wonderful done, Sachini. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, Sachini, I think we are good then. So thank you for this session. So team will meet with the next Tech Talks next Friday. Yeah, have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Bye.
Thank you, team.